Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, Matt with Green Bar Trading. Today was a good day. Before I share all my trades, and I'm sure all of you have been there before, my trading today was so much unnecessary mental capital that I expended. Just absolutely, just dumb. Just absolutely dumb. Making a whole bunch of trades just to tread water to finally get to the part of the day where I wanted to take my A+ setup was just such a waste of time. So, and I said this, I think in my last video, one of my videos, trying to wait for the A+ setup instead of over trading is something I'm going to work on and try to do a better job on, because this morning was not very good as far as the amount of mental capital that you want to spend, right? You know, the amount that you're expending, not getting anywhere on not really great setups in the pre-market can, you know, fatigue you for when the real bell rings, and you don't want to get into that. So anyway, I'm going to show you, I think it was MTSL. That was a gapper. A couple of other ones. I traded basically every single one of them, and I'll go over those with you guys here in a second. So before I do, hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel continue to grow. Maybe by my next video, I will be saying at the beginning, we hit 1,000. I think I'm only about 6 away. So here we go. Sharing the moneymaker. $71.57 in profit. And we traded until about 9:40 a.m. So the market opens at 9:30. So I traded about 10 minutes or so into the regular session. All my pre-market trades were up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I traded all the big gappers in the morning: TPST, SPI, SGOC, MTSL, all to break even. A billion trades to break even until my A+ setup presented itself to me. And this was from my weekend video. It was a stock that I had on watch. You guys can watch the video if you want to see. I took that trade and it went well. It went well. So here we go. I'm going to start with MTSL because I started and basically got to my max loss with my first 2 trades. Is that fun? No, that is not fun at all in your first 2 trades getting to your max loss. So we went from, basically speaking, our max loss to a pretty decent size green day. So I am happy about that, but I'm not happy about all these trades that I took. And I'm going to show you my first 2 on MTSL. Let me just, sorry, bear with me a second. I'm going to bring it up here. All right, here we go. So MTSL in the morning was, let me just put my indicators on so you can see what I was seeing. Okay, we're over the 9. We're over VWAP. This is a gapper. This thing was ripping from $6 over here to a high of 8, okay, in about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. What does that do? It gets my attention, and it gets the attention of almost every other day trader. So I said, let me wait for the pullback. You guys all know my strategy. wait for the pullback to the 9, take the trade. I got a little greedy. I was in profit pretty quickly, but I wanted to wait for the break of the previous high. And it had a very, very big range to it. So I thought that I can get, you know, almost $1 move off of this, you know, maybe, you know, 50 cents to $1 move. So I waited, and I waited a little bit too long and had to stop out on my first position once we broke through the 9. So this was my first trade. It was a $32 loser. My second trade was a, what is that, $17 loser. So 17 and 32, you do the math, that's almost $50. That is my max loss for the day. So, and that's my first 2 trades. So keep this you know, this is where my mind is at the moment, literally shaking my head. I was looking forward to trading so much on Monday morning. I had such great ideas on CLF, which you'll see in, you know, when the market opens. But I guess I was just a little too eager. So I started out with 2 losses, right? Now I start to get nervous because if I have 3 losses in a row, sometimes, and I'm at my max, sometimes that could stop my day before we even get to market open. So luckily we had, you know, we were breaking even here. And then I started trading MTSL much, much better. Let's see, right here, I got in for the break of the 9 and had a really nice push up here, took profit there, and then we started to form a beautiful, beautiful bull flag. Let me just zoom in. Whoop, I knew that was going to happen. What am I doing? So it sets up a perfect bull flag here. I take a trade here for a small winner, 12 bucks, but now I'm just clawing back. So I started down about 50 on this stock. And then right here, once we broke out of this wedge, I tried to get in here, but Thinkorswim did not pick up my trade. I just missed it. And this would have been, this is where you want to enter. I entered over here. I still had a, you know, a decent sized win on it, but it could have been much better with a better entrance before the break. But I just missed it. So then I wanted to wait until it pulled back a little bit before I chased. So that was it. And then got out there for what you guys can see is basically even on the stock. Way too much mental capital spent, but I looked at it as a win, even though it's a break-even trade because I started down 50 on it. So we got back to basically break even on this stock. So that was good. Other stock, other tickers that we traded, TPST was crazy. This thing was wild. Look at this in pre-market go from $20 to $48. And then it just came down and started to chop around like crazy. But if you were able to trade, I didn't. I took small share size because I did not want, I mean, the swings on this were $2, $3. It just wasn't worth it to me. So I didn't trade it that much. I just took these couple trades here and then one right here. So I traded all the big gappers that we saw in the morning. I traded, but I didn't trade them that well. They started to really chop around. So, and then this just continued to sell off. This is why you don't hold things, by the way. This thing hit a high here of our previous resistance. So this couldn't get through this 41.50 area. And now it's trading at 23. So, you know, these stocks, if you don't already know, you want to get in and get out. Just scalp them. So I'm not even going to go over these other ones. SPI, that was gapping up on some EV news. But the one that I want to show you is Cleveland Cliff. This is a Dow industrial stock. This is, so basically, this is the type of stock that you're going to want to follow the Dow Jones. If the Dow is doing well, then CLF would also do well. And I had that one on watch. So I was looking at that on a separate screen, and I saw that the dip was getting bought up in the market. So that was a very good sign for what I was trying to do here. Now, I had bought this because like I said, I had this plan, you know, before the market even opened. I wanted to buy the dip, get it at a good price, and then let the price roll and take profit into the strength, which is exactly what happened. But I didn't like the fact that it looked like it was dipping. So I ended up cutting my 100 shares here in the pre-market, and then I just waited for the regular session. I also was trading a lot of those other stocks, so I didn't want a couple of different stocks at the same time to have to monitor. So that's when we just waited for the market to open, and that's where this trade was taken, okay? So you can see here, this was a very, very nice setup. This is an A+ setup. This was making higher highs, higher lows, and this is what I envisioned to happen with Cliff. If you watched my video, this is breaking out of this channel. So down here was a good entrance. We had the bounce off of this trend line going all the way back to April. It's trading in a very well-defined channel. So on the upper end of the channel is around $26 or so. So we're at 23 now. Will there be a little pullback before we grind higher? Maybe, maybe not. But I just wanted to scalp this for a quick intraday move. But this is the stock that we were looking at because I liked the well-defined channel. So if we go back here to the 1 minute, I'll show you exactly why I took this trade. And this is one where you really have to know where you want to get in and where your risk is going to be. Because look at the range on the first 1 minute candle is 22.38 all the way down to 21.87, all in that 1 minute candle where the market makers are trying to take all this volume and match up buyers and sellers in the auction process. So what I like to do is wait for the dip. So don't buy up here at 22.38. I bought at 22.20. It continued to dip down, but as you can see with the overall market, it ripped right up. So this is one where with this type of strategy where the end game is going to be up here and that's your thesis, that's what you're planning on, that's what happened in the past. They don't always have to repeat, but that's a pattern that I was very confident was going to happen. So I did not set a stop loss here. I took 300 shares on a starter right here, and I let the trade play out. Sometimes you have to just let the trade play out and don't get scared out too quickly, especially on a bigger stock like this. Not like a momentum stock, obviously. You're going to want to cut those pretty close. But I liked where we were in the channel. There was a lot of other stuff that I liked. I did not want to stop out of this before we got the move. So that's what we got, right? We got in quick. I was watching level 2, got in, and then we chopped around a little bit. And then once we broke where I got in, once we broke the VWAP, the 9, this is where I took just 100 shares off of my position. So at this point here, this is about 12 cents, 12 times 3. So this is about a $36 winner right here, just on 100 shares. No, I'm sorry, not 100 shares. This is $12 on 100 shares. And I left 200 shares to get more out of the move. This is something that I'll do when I take 300 to 500 shares off a dip and rip. I'll take a third off, and then I'll take the rest off into some more strength. And this gave me an extra, almost, I want to say about 30 to 40% of the move more by scaling out. So sometimes I like to scale out of positions, and I took 100 shares here on the pullback for a quick scalp. And then up here, I was expecting another move higher, right here, which now we're trading at 23.27. I could have kept holding this, but once you leave the platform and the screens and you have things to do, it's just not worth keeping an open position on. So that was it on Cliff. The dip and the rip. So the market was selling off a little bit pre-market, but what we did was during the pre-market session, and what we've seen happen is every dip in this market is getting bought up. So I was very confident with this stock. And if you watch my video from about 2 days ago, you'll see me talk about this specific play for Monday. So all I was doing was following through with the trade plan that I set forth, and this was it. This was my A+ setup. So had I just traded this one, that would have been maybe a little bit less mental capital, but I did make an extra about $5 on other things that just was not worth wasting my time. So guys, that was my trade recap. I tried to get through it as quick as possible, but waiting for those nice A+ setups and not using so much mental capital is a little bit better than just treading water and just trading too much. So just keep that in mind. But this was a good day, so we're happy with the start to the week, and we'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early. I might be golfing, so I will be on my phone hitting up Discord. If you're new to the channel, Discord group is awesome. It's a great group. I highly recommend it. Get in there. It's free, and talk with everybody that's currently trading. All right, guys, I'll see you back tomorrow with the next one. Take care.